Hi everybody, it's Young Fox.
No. Everybody, I decided to make this video because I haven't done a video in a very long time. Because of the fact that I want to tell you how I got introduced to the fandom. Anyway, so I decided to do this video where I'm gonna tell you how I got introduced to the fandom in a sense, and how the media influenced my decision to get into this fandom that we so call our favorite fandom of the furry. Well, it all started back in, what year was it, 2014? 2013, it started back in 2013. And I was at and we've got this huge event in South Africa called Rage. I wouldn't compare it to E3, but it's very close to our South African E3 type of thing. We've got this thing there that we LAN. It's called the NAG LAN. It's about 2,500 to 3,000 people on a single server who LAN, single server, single network, whatever, who are all connected together, and we've got like huge internet speeds and all this fun stuff, and I love going there. It's one of my favorite events of the year. In all seriousness, so there was this one year a friend of mine went with me, and look, I knew about furries beforehand, but I wasn't really interested in them. I couldn't see what was the appeal to it. We were speaking there, me and him were speaking, obviously, because you talk to each other at a place like that. Anyway, we were chatting at one point, and I told him, have you ever heard about furries? And he said, yeah, I know about them. They're actually pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay. This is the first person I ever heard that has heard about furries and saying they're cool. Not that I've really talked much about furries before to anybody really, but yeah. And so I proceeded to Google furries. Oh no, big red light, don't Google furries. Actually, it's really not that bad if you Google them, even the image search. I mean, there's a few bad images, but it's the same about anime. I mean, seriously. But anyway, yeah, so I googled furries there, and for a few years, I can't say for a few years, it was about a year that it's stuck in my head, and I finished high school in 2013, and I had the longest fucking summer vacation of my life, for 4 to 5 months of summer vacation, and I really had nothing to do with myself. So there was a stage that I started getting more and more into YouTube videos. Not that I weren't before, but same again, I didn't really care much about that shit. So I ended up looking up abandoned places videos. I don't know how that somehow linked to furry videos. No, I remember how it happened. I was actually bored of all the abandoned places videos because I've watched most of them, and all of them turned out to be quite the same. They're interesting, entertaining, but after a while you've seen a lot of them, and I thought to myself, you know that moment when you're on the internet and you're looking at that search box and you're like, what am I going to search today? And I ended up searching furries. I was like, what the fuck? But I turned out to be into it. But more into the fursuiting side, as well, obviously. So yeah, I got very deeply into the fursuit videos, and I thought to myself at first, yeah, it's kind of weird, you know, it's very frowned upon, and people think you're weird for being into furries and stuff, and I just got out of high school, so I still had that stupid, idiot high school mentality. Yeah! But anyway, so I got, I started YouTubing all the furry videos and stuff, and I came upon fursuit games, and I thought to myself, well, that could actually be quite fun. I mean, getting into a mascot suit and getting sweaty and chasing after a ball in a room full of people who are also in sweaty suits chasing after a ball. I mean, that sounds like a bit of fun. Could you say maybe a guilty pleasure? I don't know. But anyway, moving on from that, I kind of really badly hid it away from everybody because I thought, you know, I was gonna be prosecuted for being into these freaky animal things. But anyway, there was a night that I decided, okay, tonight I'm gonna confess to my girlfriend that, you know, I like furries. It was a really awkward conversation, but in the end it turned out she was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I was shocked. To say the least, I was shocked. because I was under the impression, yeah, furries are so weird. Don't talk about it. It's a hush thing, and I mean, I couldn't keep it quiet if I really wanted to get a fursuit, because somebody's gonna notice you in a fursuit. Anyway, continuing. So it just went on from there, and I stumbled upon a fellow South African fursuiter. She's also a fursuit maker. She's called as Nixie. I believe she also goes by Carousel Studios right now. Is her fursuit making studio name, I think. But anyway, so where were we? Fursuiting, yeah. So my why do I stutter so much? My main draw to the fandom is fursuiting, and it still is. I love the art. I love the community. The community is a big thing as well. I love the art, and I love everything else about the community, but I love fursuits the most. I mean, that would be what keeps me in the fandom, probably. If it wasn't for fursuit, I would have been jealous. So, how I came upon my first fursuit. It's not the prettiest, but it was my first. And people that should be proud. I don't know, from my perspective, perfectionist perspective, because I am so perfect. But anyway, from my perspective, it was a good suit, but I wasn't feeling it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen photos or something, and edit, put in photo here. Anyway, that was my first suit, and what I ended up doing is I followed a tutorial by Tony DeReal, and I did this one. I wasn't expecting much of it. I wasn't expecting people to like it. So I posted a thread on the South African furry forums, and I'll get to that in a second. So I posted a thread on the South African furry forums, and people actually liked what I did, and that really motivated me to continue with the fursuiting stuff. I ended up making it because in South Africa we don't really have much fursuit makers, and we've got quite a sorry for the English, I'm not English, but we've got quite an issue with getting fur, and it's quite expensive, and the tax on it's quite high, and the VAT, I don't know what you call it in other countries, VAT or GST or whatever, is quite high on it as well, because 14% on the further 45%, and the custom duties plus 10%. So I am a tax student, so I know this shit. We were talking about the fursuit. Okay, so the fursuit I made, I posted on the forums. People really liked what they saw, and at that stage I could still find green fur. You know, it really motivated me to get really into the fursuiting stuff. And let's say about 6 months passed, I finished a semester at university, and I was extremely motivated to build my second suit, because I was watching like a ton of fucking videos on how to do it, and we ended up, I'm saying we, I meant myself. I ended up making my second fursuit, which is, insert here. His name was Bex. He ended up being Bex because of the fact that, like I said, there's a scarcity of fur. You can't really find fur in South Africa that much, so I just compromised, and I like him, but I don't really identify much as him. That's why I'm not even wearing him in the video, because, I mean, I'm not Bex, and that's Bex, I'm Yod. Anyway, I think I've said this in previous videos. I'm sorry for repeating myself. Please forgive me. Continuing. I said I'd get to the furry forums. So what happened with the furry forums was I actually googled, you know, South African furry, and Wunder bewonder, which is, I don't know what's that in English, that was Afrikaans. Wunder bewonder. It's some kind of an amazing expression. I found the South African furry forums. I joined, one thing led to another, became a furry. What am I doing with my life? Yeah, and, that led to the point where I am now, probably, I guess. Seen as a fursuit maker, YouTuber, South African furry type thing. I was one of the first furries in, I guess, Johannesburg or Gauteng that went with a suit to an event, and I absolutely fell in love with fursuiting. And yeah, again, that is where I am now. There were other fursuiters before me in South Africa, but that was like, I don't know which year, that was a long time ago, but anyway, I don't even know what happened to them, really, to be honest. they'll probably be commenting on my video like, I was the first fursuit and you should respect that. I'm sorry, that was a joke, it's a skit. Calm down. What makes my whole love for the furry fandom ironic is the fact that, and excuse me for the edginess emotional coming from this moment in the video, is the fact that as a kid I was actually attacked by a dog. Quite, well, I wouldn't say bad, but I had a few stitches. My love for animals didn't subside. I kept on loving animals, and I guess that's a contributing fact to the fact why I'm a furry, I guess. Probably you could say so. Look, I'm not reading deep into it because, well, there's no need to read deep into it. Okay, yeah, well, other than that, oh, I also said the media influence on why I turned into a furry. I'm a huge fan of like animation and stuff. I'm a huge Disney fan in general as well. I used to, well, not used to, I still do, but in my earlier years of life, I watched Family Guy quite a lot, and there was this episode of Family Guy. Was it Family Guy? No. It was American Dad. Fuck, I can't even remember. I think it's American Dad. Yeah. Anyway, there was an episode of American Dad I watched where they had like a mockery of a furry convention, and there was this guy dressed up as a car and the squirrel, and the car was going vroom vroom, and the squirrel just got on the floor, bent down, and just like vroom vroom vroom. I found it hilarious. I don't know, some people found it like, oh, it's a mockery of the furry. I didn't even know about the furry fan. I'm gonna watch the video, but subconsciously I knew, but I didn't read deep it. Like I said, I didn't really read deeply. I don't really read deeply into it because I was just thinking, yeah, it's funny, I guess, whatever. And I think that also has an influence on the reason why I got the interest into furries, because I saw in that episode, wow, there are people wearing suits, animal suits. Same as with the YouTube video. I mean, people wearing animal suits and going to conventions, and fuck knows doing what at the conventions, but they're going to a communal place and they're having a lot of fun, and the videos seem like a lot of fun. So yeah, I guess you can also say fursuit dancing really got me into it. I wanted to be a fursuit dancer at some stage, but let's be honest. Other than that, I guess that's my story, my origin story. So I talked about the media influence, I talked about the furry fandom, the furry threads, community board, fur, and I talked about the fursuits, I talked about the dog, which should have changed my life but didn't. I have my own dog and I love him to death. You can say there was a stage that was a bit existential about the whole furry thing, and thinking to myself, ooh, there must be something wrong, why am I a furry? You know, it's gotta do something with myself being different from everybody else, and I'm really not that different. You're unique, just like everybody else. It's that thing. I did go through an existential stage, and that's when I came back and started doing the YouTube videos, because fuck seriousness. I mean, seriously. I know all of my other YouTube videos, and probably this one as well, are pretty cringy, but I'm still studying it, and give me a chance, please. I'm still learning my personality. I guess that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment below if you feel like doing it. Please subscribe. I don't know which side subscribe. Probably this side. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. I already said that. If you want to be notified about every time I make a new video, press the bell button. I know everybody says that, but I guess that's a cool thing to say these days. And that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Always remember, stay fluffy.